cursed day in Mexico, a deadly curse, every 32 years. If I told you there's a day in the year when tragedy strikes repeatedly, a day that has claimed thousands of lives, not just once, but 3 times. It's like a mysterious curse, a cruel jest of the universe, recurring at a precise moment in time. And the most chilling part? This isn't fiction. It happened in Mexico. September 19th. For the people of Mexico, it's not just a date to commemorate, it's a day that haunts them. But why this day? The 1985 earthquake, the beginning of the nightmare. The story begins in 1985. September 19th, 7:19 a.m. Millions of people were preparing for an ordinary workday. Then, suddenly, hell broke loose. An 8.1 magnitude earthquake leveled hundreds of buildings, turning Mexico City into rubble. Thousands lost their lives. The horror lingered, leaving an indelible scar in Mexico's history. 32 years later, people still tell their children and grandchildren about that fateful day, about the courage of volunteers who dug through debris with their bare hands to save survivors. However, the story doesn't end there. Few know that after the disaster, the Mexican government initially hesitated to accept international aid, wanting to handle the crisis on its own. But the devastation was so immense that they had no choice but to relent. Hundreds of SOS signals were sent out, and the international community responded. Yet the most powerful image came from the Mexican people themselves, the topos, the first volunteers who fought through the rubble before professional rescue teams arrived. These unsung heroes embodied the resilient spirit of a nation. The 2017 earthquake, an unbelievable repeat. Do you believe in coincidences? On September 19th, 2017, Mexico held its annual earthquake drill to commemorate the 1985 disaster. Just a few hours later, at 1:14 p.m., a 7.1 magnitude earthquake struck, as if fate were mocking them with cruel precision. Hundreds perished. Images of collapsed schools and panicked citizens resurfaced. People began to ask, what's happening? This earthquake raised a major question. Why did buildings constructed to new standards after 1985 still collapse? This sparked doubts about construction quality and lax enforcement of regulations. While science offered logical explanations about the depth of the epicenter and the weak soil in Mexico City, for the people, these were not enough to soothe the haunting fear of a day that seemed to repeat itself. A tweet from a Mexican citizen went viral. We had just finished the earthquake drill, and now it's happening for real. I can't believe it. The horror and despair in those brief words captured the emotions of millions. The 2022 earthquake, reinforcing the curse. Two coincidences are already unusual, but when it happens a third time, it becomes terrifying. On September 19th, 2022, after the annual drill concluded, The ground shook again with a 7.6 magnitude earthquake. The nation held its breath. Though the death toll was lower, this event solidified an almost inexplicable spiritual belief: September 19th is cursed. This wasn't just a geological event. It became a psychological phenomenon. Mexican sociologists have noted a rise in anxiety, obsession, and depression as September 19th approaches. For many, the sound of an earthquake alarm is no longer just a physical warning. It's the tolling of fate, of an event beyond their control. According to a Reuters article, a woman named Maria from Mexico City said, "I feel like I'm living in a movie. I don't want September 19th to come anymore." Her simple words captured the deep-seated dread ingrained in an entire generation. And September 19th holds other secrets, stories you may have never heard. Event 1. The terrorists' suicidal manifesto, September 19th, 1995. On this day in 1995, one of America's most notorious terrorists, the Unabomber, voluntarily published his manifesto in a major newspaper. He thought it would spread his ideology, but that manifesto became the perfect trap that exposed him and led to his capture. An unexpected detail, a miscalculation, ended a decades-long manhunt. According to an article in the New York Times, after the manifesto was published, the Unabomber's brother, David Kaczynski, recognized the writing style and certain familiar details, even from a few scattered phrases. He decided to alert the FBI, and that action brought an end to a 17-year manhunt. Event 2. The Great Submarine Battle, September 19, 1974. On this day, deep beneath the ocean, the CIA carried out one of the boldest espionage operations in history. They secretly salvaged part of a sunken Soviet submarine to uncover its secrets. What they kept hidden was, they used the cover of an eccentric billionaire searching for treasure on the ocean floor to fool the world. A true Hollywood story. This operation, named the Azorian Project, was one of the most expensive in intelligence history. According to declassified CIA documents, they built a specially designed ship, perfectly disguised, to carry out this impossible mission. And on September 19th, they succeeded in salvaging a critical part of the submarine, obtaining valuable military secrets. September 19th, a day of disasters, coincidences, and secrets. It shows us that sometimes history isn't a linear flow but a haunting cycle that repeats itself. Are there curses tied to time, or are these simply coincidences too incredible to believe? Whatever you believe, the fear that grips Mexicans as this day approaches is undeniably real. Above all, this story teaches us about the strength of humanity. Despite facing inexplicable natural disasters, we find courage, resilience, and unity to overcome. That is perhaps the most memorable thing about September 19th.
Thank you for your service.
If you're Mexican, do you believe September 19th is a cursed day? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to explore more surprising historical mysteries with us. See you in the next episode.